Your life can be different, and you can obtain greatness in face of anything you encounter. Mr. Jim Stovall, one of our nation's most highly respected authors and sought-after speakers, has succeeded against all odds, and yes, you can succeed too. Stricken by blindness, Jim found himself in a small, dark room with little money, little hope, and afraid of tomorrow. This presentation of Yes You Can is a story of climbing from despair to financial success. Stay tuned and learn how you too can overcome life's most difficult challenges.
What I came here to talk to you about for a few minutes is your future. That's what matters to me today. Every time I stand on a stage like this to share for a few minutes about some things I believe in this life to be important, every time I do this, I am always reminded of a time in my life when this was not possible. A little over 10 years ago, I woke up one morning. I instantly realized I had lost the remainder of my sight, and I knew I would live the rest of my life as a blind person. And the thoughts and doubts and fears that came over me that morning a little over a decade ago would be almost impossible to describe to you. I was 29 years old, I had never met a blind person, and I did not have a clue what I was going to do with the rest of my life. In fact, the only plan I could come up with involved moving into this little 9 by 12 foot room I had in the back of my house. And in there I gathered my radio and my telephone and my tape recorder. I really never intended to leave that room. The thought of traveling hundreds of thousands of miles and talking to 1 million people a year, the thought of running a television network or hosting a talk show or writing a dozen books or writing a column every week or standing on this stage talking to you today, the thought of any of those things was as foreign to me as going to the moon. And I sat in my little 9 by 12 foot self-imposed prison, if you will, day after day after day, getting more and more depressed and more discouraged, and I'm quite certain I would still be there today except for one thing. That is the fact that I literally ached for people like you to come and talk to. So I want you to know for the next few minutes there's at least one guy in the convention center here that's going to thoroughly enjoy himself, whether you get anything out of this or not. Thank you. And when I think of where we've had the privilege of going in the last decade to share the stage with Christopher Reeve and Colin Powell and Dennis Waitley and Zig Ziglar and Tony Robbins and Barbara Bush, and today I'm more excited than I can say to get to spend part of the day with you. They said, it's time to make one of those speeches you promised us you'd make. And I said, you clowns promised me I had 6 months. They said, trust us, it's been a full 6 months. You see, they always lie to the blind guy. And they think they get away with it, and in reality, I guess they do. I just like to let them know that I know they get away with it. I said, okay, where are we going? They said, Jim, we have booked you into the Anaheim Coliseum where you will be the motivational speaker for 14,000 state government workers. Now, if any of you here have ever worked for the state government or know anybody that works for the state government or even discovered anyone doing any work for the state government, you'll please excuse my next comments. But I thought being a motivational speaker for the state government workers was something like raising the dead. Not unheard of, but it doesn't happen every day, if you know what I mean. Well, our Vice President, Kathy Harper, and I got on a plane, and we're finally get out to California. We're backstage in this huge arena, and I'm scared to death because I haven't made a speech since I've lost my sight. And I was trying to remember, was it 12 steps or 13 to the front of that stage? Because that can be kind of critical at a certain point in time, you know what I mean? Especially for you folks right there. And I was trying to remember, where did they put all those potted palm trees? In fact, you guys are from all across the country. You travel a lot, meet a lot of people. If you ever run into the man or woman, whoever it was, that decided they should go into arenas, convention centers, television studios, right where a blind guy might be working, and decided they should go in there and put potted palm trees all over the place, if you ever run into that person, would you tell them I'd like to visit with them? Because over the last few years, I've had kind of a close personal relationship with some of those potted palm trees. Well, we're standing back there, and I'm trying to remember where everything was, and I'm really nervous. And when you're blind, you pay close attention. You kind of sense things. And I could just tell, I could sense that someone had come up, and they were standing right next to me. Have you ever had anybody kind of standing in your space, you know, a little too close for comfort? Well, somebody was standing right there, and they weren't making any noise. Now, folks, if we have a chance to meet later today after this program or at some point in the future, you got to make noise. If you don't make noise, I won't like you. I may not like you anyway, but if you don't make noise, we don't have a chance. Well, I turned to Kathy. I said, look, I'm really nervous because we got to raise these people from the dead, and we got potted palm trees and stuff, and I think there's somebody standing here. She said, Jim, I don't know how to tell you this, but there's a guy standing next to you, and he's holding up a note in front of your face for you to read. I said, look, I'm a little tense here. I don't need this, you know? What does this note say? Well, she leans over and said, Jim, the note reads, I am deaf. Can you please help me locate the front desk? So I turned to the deaf guy and said, no, sir, I'm blind. I can't help you find nothing. So I turned back to Kathy. I said, what's he doing now? She said, he's holding the note closer. So I explained it to him even louder. And folks, we never did get together on that thing. And somewhere here in America, there's still a poor deaf man wandering around looking for the front desk. And if you run across him this weekend, I would appreciate it if you would help him out.
Jim Stovall has appeared on Good Morning America, CNN, and the 700 Club. He's also been featured in major publications like Reader's Digest, TV Guide, and Time Magazine. Jim has shared the stage with notable speakers including General Colin Powell, Tony Robbins, and Christopher Reeve. If you're enjoying this powerful message, you'll want to order the full version DVD presentation of Yes, You Can. Has life beaten you down or things not worked out as planned? Make a change today. This DVD will make you laugh, it will make you cry, but you will never be the same. Order the complete DVD version of Yes, You Can today, and we'll add Jim's newly released audiobook, Ultimate Productivity, with an introduction written by Steve Forbes. This limited-time television offer includes both the audiobook and DVD for only $49.95. But that's not all. You'll also receive a code gaining access to the Ultimate Productivity Profile Evaluation, a tool to discover your unique talents and traits. Just $49.95 plus shipping and handling will put in your hands these 3 powerful resources to change your life. But wait, order now and you'll receive Jim's popular book titled You Don't Have to Be Blind to See. It's yours absolutely free. If purchased separately, you'd spend over $100 for these, but during this limited time offer, they're only $49.95. Unlock your true potential with the Yes You Can DVD, the audiobook Ultimate Productivity, the Ultimate Productivity Profile Evaluation, and the free book You Don't Have to Be Blind to See. All these for only $49.95. So call the number on the screen or go to www.epictv.com/yes and order today. Yes, you can. Be both happy and successful. Order now.
Now, when I was 17, I couldn't imagine, why do I got to get a physical exam to go to college?